Hi, it's Gary, and in this episode I'm exploring the north of Gran Canaria, from sightseeing in the capital city to a tour of a rum distillery, with a spot of rum tasting at the end too. Gran Canaria is one of the Canary Islands that sit off the northwest coast of Africa, but a part of Spain. I've stayed there a few times, visiting resorts like Puerto Rico in the south, passing by the sandy beaches of Amadores and visiting the beautiful and colourful Puerto de Mojan. Then further round the coast, there's lively Playa del Ingles, close to the sand dunes of Palmas. But in 2022, I visited the north of the island twice, sailing into the capital, Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, aboard the cruise ships Marella Explorer and P&O's Iona. On my first visit, I was exploring Las Palmas on my own. It's quite easy to walk out of the port terminal, and once you get through the gates, there is a big shopping centre, and if you're planning on exploring further afield, there are buses and taxis if you look around. I decided I was going to go and visit the cathedral and set off walking, although with hindsight it's a really long walk, and I'd probably been better using public transport because it's not the most scenic route either. Eventually I reached the Cathedral of Santa Ana. It's open to debate where the Canary Islands get their name from, but Pliny said they were named after the Latin word for dogs, so nowadays the cathedral's guarded by lots of dogs. Years ago I visited this area on a rainy day. It's much better in the sunshine. And a famous visitor to this area was Christopher Columbus, who stopped off in a lot of the Canary Islands on his way to the New World. You can visit the house that he stayed at here in Las Palmas. And then I walked it back to the port, although at least this time I could see the ship ahead of me. When I returned to Las Palmas on Iona, I decided to book a shore excursion and opted for a rum distillery tour in the north of the island. It began with a walking tour of the town of Firgas. Here we explored this colourful town, and the good thing with having a tour guide is they tell you a bit about the local area too. Apparently the north of the island is much wetter, so while the tourists flock to the sunshine in the south, the locals don't mind because this is where all their food and water comes from. Our next stop was Arehucas, and the biggest surprise arriving in this little town was seeing this amazing neo-gothic church. This is the church of San Juan Bautista, or St. John the Baptist in English. We got a bit of time to have a look around inside. Then there was a bit more free time to get an obligatory selfie with the Arehucas sign. From there it was a short walk to the highlight of the day, a tour of the Arehucas Rum Distillery. The distillery has over 300 barrels of rum that have been signed by notable people, from the President of the Canaries to Julio Iglesias, and a whole host of other celebrities. Then we carried on through the modern distillery where the rum is made. We got to see the stills, but the highlight was the bottling plant. I could have watched this for ages. And once we'd seen how the rum was bottled and packed, it was up to the rooftop bar to try some samples. You only got 4 shot glasses, so you had to choose wisely, unfortunately. Even so, I had to buy myself a souvenir. I had no idea the north of Gran Canaria was so different, so I'm really glad I took time to visit it. I think that's an excuse to come back and see more of Gran Canaria. If you've enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. And why not watch another one?